My boyfriend scratched me hard on purpose and said it was my fault. I was touching my boyfriend's back because that's only the few ways he falls asleep. I accidentally scratched him because my nails are very long. He got angry and accused me of doing it on purpose till he grabbed my arm and scratched me super hard. My arm was stinging, and when I went to the bathroom I had a long deep scratch which was bleeding a bit from my elbow to my wrist. I told him about it and he said it was my fault and that I was ruining his mood. This is his second time doing something like that to me and claiming it was my fault. He apologized later, but he still insinuated it was my fault. I have no idea what to do. I want to break up, but I'm second guessing myself. If it's a big deal or not. Explosive violent rage is not a normal reaction any way you look at it. It's a big deal. Location flag. He still thinks it's your fault. Any kind of violence in a relationship is a no-go. Okay, so first of all you are doing him a favor, putting him to sleep like a baby, because he can't fall asleep by himself, and then you accidentally scratch him and his ungrateful ass gets angry, scratches you to the point of bleeding and blames you. Fuck this guy. Dump him. That's physical abuse, emotional abuse and manipulation. Don't second guess. Leave his ass in the dust. This will only escalate. You want to break up? Then trust yourself that you feel this way. You gave him a second chance and he failed again. Blame shifting is part of manipulation and abuse tactics. Even if he doesn't do all of it, you don't have to put up with this. He has reactive anger, inappropriate reaction to things that are accidents. He has anger control issues and blame shifts, so he doesn't have to take responsibility for his actions being horrible and hurtful. Nope. Just leave for your own sanity and safety. That's quite childish and violent of him. Tread carefully. Run. As fast and as far as you can. If you need help deciding, imagine having a baby with him and the child scratching him accidentally like they do. Do you want to find out what would happen then? www.loveisrespect.org. Read, Why Does He Do That? By Lundy Bancroft. That's a very immature, aggressive way for him to respond. It also sets the tone for future things you do that are your fault, and this will be entirely whatever he deems as such. He just tried to teach you a lesson, an eye for an eye almost, for accidentally scratching him. It sounds like he has some work to do on himself. And by staying, you're only setting yourself up for more situations like this in the future, I imagine. You should ruin his mood even more by dumping him. Do what? You mean that your boyfriend physically assaulted you, scarring you in the process, over something you did accidentally? This is premeditated physical violence, and yes, it's domestic violence. Over what? You accidentally scratching him with a fingernail. This is not a big deal, it's a massive deal. You want to break up. You have answered your own question really. Don't second guess yourself. This is going to escalate. He deliberately hurts you when he gets mad. You need to leave and never look back, because this kind of abuse only ever gets worse. When a person's reaction to something upsetting him is to hurt someone and then blame that person, that means that they'll be a violent domestic abuser. He could go and get therapy, but I'd advise you to run. This is a big deal. He assaulted you, then blamed you for him being violent. Be careful with how you approach this. If you live with each other, you'll need a plan. This behavior is bad and he's already shown he can be violent, so he may not take it well if you leave. If you don't live together, then pack up what you need and get out. Leave all the little stuff. It's not worth the trouble. Seriously, this stuff can escalate. If you're feeling the need to break up, go with that instinct and you can go over all the reasons you felt that later on. Thank God it's just a scratch. But what about the next time? Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. There should be no second thoughts. This is completely unacceptable. How can someone hurt physically someone they love? From what you have described, he seems to be an abusive person. Scratch for a larger scratch. Tomorrow you cause him a bigger loss unintentionally, he gives you a bigger scar. Abuser and victim blamer. Get out now before it escalates. You aren't safe with him. That's assault. Yes, it's a big deal. He's abusive. Next time it won't just be a scratch. Run. Fucking get out of there. Will it be your fault too when you drop something, so he drops you? Will it be your fault when you have to wear concealer because you did something to upset him? When does it end? Just a scratch this time. Just a coffin next time. This will only escalate. He is a violent person. This is the kind of person who'd blame you for making him throw you down the stairs or worse. Please be careful. Set the entire relationship on fire at this point, honestly. This is not normal. This MF doesn't know how to behave with women. You are not his property. Break up with him immediately. Lose him. Are you dating a toddler? You mean ex-boyfriend, right? It is a big deal. Your boyfriend is a big jerk. That is outrageous behavior and he is twisting it around to make it seem like your fault. Wake up. The only way he falls asleep is with you rubbing his back. This guy is not just abusive, he is also controlling you. Pull your head out of the clouds and lose this guy like right now. Punishing you for a very minor accident is not okay. This is a hugay red flag. Blaming you for the violence he did to you is even worse. Get out now. He will escalate. Sounds like the beginnings of an abusive relationship. 1. He hurts you after you do something he doesn't like. 2. Blames you. 3. Apologizes. 4. Makes you question yourself. 5. Repeat. It starts off slow like this until you are in so deep him hitting you doesn't send you running. Girl, GTFO. But at the very least keep in your head that someone purposefully putting their hands on you is not okay. Research tactics of domestic abusers. This is not a normal reaction. I've dropped my phone on my husband's head on accident when we were sleeping on my chest. It was an accident and he treated it as such. Normal healthy reactions aren't to hurt you and then blame it on you. This is a huge deal. This wasn't just a scratch. If you were bleeding, he cut your body open with his fingernails. This is never acceptable. Don't second guess yourself about breaking up. Never stay with someone who hurts you on purpose, then makes you feel like it's your fault. Leave your abuser. This guys will eventually start punching you. He's testing boundaries now to see how physical he can get. Run away op. The fact he assumed you did it on purpose just sounds like he is looking for reasons to hurt you. If I accidentally hurt my boyfriend, he gives me a sad face and says, ouch, then I apologize and everything is back to normal. Just how it should be. This is abuse. He hit you just the same as if he had slapped or punched you. React accordingly. Location flag, location flag, location flag. That is a big red flag right here, no matter how small the injury is. Jesus fucking Christ. Get away from that psycho. It was an accident. You don't deserve this. It will only get worse if you stay. Run. This is abuse. This is a deal breaker and this is a one strike and you're out deal. Don't forgive him. Don't let him blame you. He is an abusive sack of shit. Run. I too like to scratch my husband's back in bed before we fall asleep, but he doesn't make me. It's a sweet way I show affection. He doesn't need it to fall asleep because he's not a toddler. If I ever scratched him to cause pain, you know what he does. Hisses because, oh, that was a shock, and we don't mention it, because he has communicated that I've hurt him accidentally and I don't do the same action. He doesn't dig his nails into my arm enough to draw blood. What happens if you hit him in the face by mistake? Will he knock you out next time? The lowest bar there is if for a boyfriend not to hit his girlfriend and he doesn't even pass that test. You need to leave him. Your life could be in danger in the future. Think about future kids. Run. He made a deep scratch on your arm from an accident. What happens next? You ruin his mood by not wanting to watch a movie or something and he punches you. No one in their right mind would ever do something so vile, especially to someone they love. What you did was an accident. He maliciously hurt you and blamed you. Get out and be safe. He attacked you like an animal until you bled. Run. Hopefully you can leave before you accidentally hit him or drop something on his feet op. Not only did he deliberately physically hurt you, but he also believed you had intentions to hurt him when you obviously hadn't. These two things are a very dangerous combination. He will likely hurt you again if he perceives that you slighted him. If you don't want to be hurt again, get rid. Yeah, that's totally out of line. He's just going to escalate and get worse. Please break up with him. I'm sorry, but blaming the victim, it's your fault, then being apologetic later is what we all hear about abusive partners. He didn't mean it, it was all my fault, he said he was sorry. It's starting out with small injuries now. But later who knows how bad and how much you will be programmed, thinking it really is your fault. If you even have a small kernel of doubt, you should listen to it and run now before you get too deep. He is violent. Break up. Massive red flag.